orange and blue sunset and mile high here in Broncos country. Let's get ready to ride. Russ and the rest are gonna light up the sky. We'll break it down after the game with the guys. Hometown heroes with their own sports bar. The best coverage in Denver, don't go too far. Just turn on DNVR. We are
DNVR Broncos Live. Presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Shout out DraftKings Sportsbook. Got that early win token tonight.
Ooh.
I know all of us already put it on the Dolphins.
You bet we did. And then DraftKings just throws us another little boost, the $10 money back parlay.
Ryan Green posed this question to me in the office when I walked in. Did you hear about what Mike McDaniel did during
Yeah,
practice yesterday?
Just incredible. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, then I guess you answered the question. He asked me, genius or paranoid?
Both. Absolutely both.
Paranoid genius.
And you know, I was talking to some other media members, and anytime a team goes off-site to practice, they have people on the staff with binoculars just looking around the site the entire time because the NFL is paranoia. Everything is built on being paranoid.
But they're paranoid because if not, somebody's gonna be out there spying on him.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's just me on my way home being like, oh no, are they looking at me? No, that's not gonna happen. In those situations, absolutely somebody's going to be spying on you if they have a chance.
But I mean, it's everything. And you're right, Henry. I mean, it's smart for them to be paranoid, but they are paranoid. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Dwayne Stukes, it's like every other press conference, he's asked a very basic question. He kind of looks around. He's like, well, I don't know who's listening to this and who's going to get a hold of this audio, so I can't fully answer that. But what I'll tell you is this. It's like, that's the life that these guys live, is like any team could be trying to pick up on some sort of little hint that someone may drop or that a clip may drop online or something. And that's the world of paranoia they live in.
I spent like 5 or 10 minutes talking with Pat Surtain today because I was curious about the whole like follow a receiver around thing or just stay on one side thing. And there were just topics that I didn't even try to get into. Like we talked yesterday, it's like 2/3 of the time he's on one side, 1/3 on the other. I didn't even say like, was that to just follow somebody around? It looked like it was there because you know you're not getting an answer.
Right.
It's like,
Especially
are you
from him.
following Devontae Adams around? Don't even ask because it's not like they're going to say. And
Were
it
you
makes
on
sense.
the record?
Yeah. I thought about afterwards saying something. I was like, yeah, let's just... Things went well. I don't want Pat to think I'm weird.
Evero was asked about that today, and the first thing that came out of his mouth was, he wasn't asked exactly, is Pat going to follow Devontae, but like, how do you decide if you're going to do that? And the first thing out of his mouth was, well, I can't give away our game plan, so I'm not going to talk to that specifically.
So he's
Exactly. Well, and that's why with Pat, I just started with like, so what's it like when you just get to stay on one side for the whole game? Like, is there value in that? And just like those sorts of things, because as soon as you bring up one question that's like, are you going to do it? Then all of a sudden everything's shut down. Then you're not getting anything about any of that.
They think that you are coming from the Raiders organization
Yes.
to find us, especially all black. You got that black,
so
and,
true.
black and white?
That was a bad day for that, wasn't it?
As long as you don't work in silver, you're good.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this
Little
white
silver
can
on
kind
the
of fade.
little silver on the shoes. There's
where?
those like six little gray straps.
No,
silver
those are blue.
straps. No, on the top.
Like right here?
They're gray blue. Yeah.
Those are blue.
I think they used to be blue, but they're fading.
Okay. So they appear to the eye as silver.
Yeah, I mean, it's really true what you're saying there, Hank. I would go weeks without ever pulling out my recorder in the locker room because I felt like I would just get much better information.
Yeah.
It's like you can just, like, if you just have a conversation, especially if you find the right guys who just like want to talk football, they'll tell you anything as long as your recorder's not out.
Right.
Anyways.
So it's paranoid and it's a genius move
Paranoid
by Mike
genius.
McDaniels. I absolutely love that guy, and that's a big reason why I love the plus 150 tonight.
Yeah, it's really
Plus the early lead.
I love the early win token there. You can just get, like, again, a good script from Mike McDaniel, and you're off and running. I will say, adding the 12th player on the field, I think would be really easy to identify for any defensive coordinator who's worth his salt, to just be like, that doesn't look like a normal route for the concept that they're running, or like, you know what I mean? Like, if it just seems like it would be easiest to uncover.
On the other side, though, it is Mike McDaniel putting that extra guy out there.
It's
You know,
true.
he has his own eye for
Right,
that.
right.
It's
Was
like,
he just like whispering to like their third receiver, like, all right, go out there and just run a 9.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, like, some would be obvious. Like, if you're just running slants and you just have a guy like sitting down right where they're running, like, yeah, that's obviously not it. But
Yeah.
I bet, you know, you run like a little corner out. Mike McDaniel knows how to make that 12th man look like he's useful.
I mean, this is a pretty fitting conversation, especially when we talk about our London trip that we're having, all the events we're having, because the last time the Broncos were in London, they in fact did
Cheated.
cheat this way. Now a little different, where they kind of sent someone in, left some cameras running in the facility, but this in multiple ways can relate to the Broncos.
It's crazy in football how many times this stuff has come up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like at least once every 5 years, someone gets caught overtly cheating.
Yep. Most of the time it comes from the Patriots organization
Yep.
or a tree of the Patriots organization, as was
Yep.
happening in Denver.
Yep, exactly. And wow, Josh McDaniels was cheating and still sucked.
Do you think he's going to try to cheat this week?
I don't know. He is 0-6, as I tweeted out today, since getting caught cheating. So never won a game in which he definitely didn't cheat.
And he's 5-20 in his last 25 games as a head coach.
Yes, exactly.
Yikes.
0-6 since the investigation from the NFL, which I was reading up on that today. The Broncos self-reported, and there's just no, like, there's got to be so much more to that story.
What do you mean? Why?
My number one guess would be that they wanted to fire Josh McDaniels for cause.
Okay, potentially. Now, what I will say, though, is pretty much in the Drew Lock quarterback COVID tracking thing, I believe that was also self-reported.
I think the only reason you ever self-report is if you think you're going to get caught.
That is true.
So then they thought that they were going to get caught for Drew.
It's either that. Oh, yeah, for sure. It's either that or you think you're trying to like pull something like getting Josh McDaniels fired for cause. And I don't know if there was ever a solution to that. I think the Broncos blew it though if they were trying to fire him for cause, because Joe Ellis said, I don't think this is a fireable offense.
Yep.
That's tough.
You know, Josh McDaniels'
That's
lawyer
tough.
brought that up.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, that was I love all the Josh McDaniels slander that's just like coming out. I'm trying to push it further. Like,
Yes, you are.
just keep feeding the beasts. Everyone loves anything bad about Josh McDaniels.
Does it make that stuff not as impactful if Josh comes out and beats the Broncos this week?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Broncos. So you're what you're doing, and a lot of people are doing, rightfully so, and putting the good word out there, I would say, is you're building it up so the Broncos can just kill them this week.
What I really want is the Broncos Raiders rivalry to be real again. It's been it's felt like CU Utah to me for the last few years. It's just like, oh, yeah, it's kind of supposed to be a rivalry. It used to be a rivalry. Let's do a big highlight package of the old like hits from the 1980s and stuff. And it just hasn't. The hate hasn't been there. It's partly because the Broncos haven't been good. It's partly because when the Broncos were good, the Raiders were absolute trash. So there just hasn't. The rivalry has lacked teeth for many, many years now, and I want it back. Like, I want Raiders fans in my mentions like cursing me and like all that stuff like that. I missed that. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to feed the beast.
And I love that. And I want that to happen. And the coaches aren't really playing into it. Justin Outen was asked today if there's a rivalry between coaches and players in one team and compared to coaches and players in another team, because fans have that rivalry, but between players and coaches. And what he said was, whoever you're playing next, you got a rivalry with them. And so, okay, well, no rivalry there then. The coaches don't buy into it. But we did hear Bradley Chubb yesterday say he hates the Raiders. He hates a few teams, but the Raiders is one of them that he hates. And I feel bad for the way the answer turned out. But I asked Nathaniel Hackett, I said, Bradley Chubb hates the Raiders. Do you want... do you want that to kind of spread throughout the locker room? And do you want all the guys feeling that way? And he said, give me a guess on what you think he said with how I kind of teed it up.
Something about how I'd much rather our guys be in control of their emotions.
And that would have been a fine answer too, but no, he went to a deeper level. What he said at first was, this is a rivalry and I'm happy to be part of it, but hate, there's not enough energy and room for hate in this world. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
I hate it
Just
so
like,
much.
I feel bad now for asking the question, and then I have to
That's
remind myself, no, Bradley
hilarious.
Chubb said the hate thing. It wasn't me.
That's
And I'm like,
hilarious.
wow, I feel like an a-hole now.
So I actually,
Yes, yeah.
I actually agree with Nathaniel Hackett to a certain extent. Like, life is too short to be hating people that are actually in your life.
Yeah.
Sports are literally designed for you to get all of that out
Right.
in a healthy manner. Like,
Yeah.
you should hate the Raiders.
Yes.
You should hate Josh McDaniels. You should hate Derek Carr if that's something you want to do. Like, that's how you get the hate out in a healthy manner, so you don't hate people in real life.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I could understand hating someone if they beat you year in and year out and embarrass you on a national level. If they are literally physically beating you up a couple of times a year, I could see that. But yeah, Nathaniel Hackett just has me feeling like, wow, we need to love the Raiders, right?
That makes
I
me
hate
really
this so much.
that makes me really sad because I just like had a vision while we were talking about this of like something happens in the game. Like, let's just say a Raider player like takes a cheap shot on a guy. And like I just had this vision of like Nathaniel Hackett screaming at Josh McDaniels that I feel like it's not going to
could
come true.
happen.
Like Matt Wilhelm and Phillip Rivers back in the day would. What was that? That would have been Cutler on the other
Yes.
sideline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, Jay, man, that was great. That's what I want.
Yes.
I want. It's probably not going to happen with Derek Carr and Russell Wilson. If that happens, though, you know the rivalry is back.
Yeah, I want like true blue rivalry, and like I feel like Nathaniel Hackett could embrace that. He should hate
Yes.
Josh McDaniels.
I think
Yes.
here's a hot take. Maybe I think Russell Wilson's gonna do something rivalry-ish this week. Like
Whoa.
I know, isn't that crazy? But I do think because
He
he
does
gets
have a
it,
fire inside
he
of
has
him.
that little bit of fire, and I think he gets that he will win over Broncos fans if he just gets in one guy's face a little bit too long,
Or, like-
because he does have that actor, you know,
Or,
that,
like-
you know,
Yeah,
I think so.
I love it.
Zone read keep was on the table so clearly for the Broncos so many times against the 49ers. They didn't call it once. Let's call it on the goal line against the Raiders, and then he gives a shh to the crowd.
Oh, I would love it. And I hope he walks in just as gently into the end zone as Peyton Manning did against the Cowboys.
Yeah, or he like flips the ball to Jonathan Abram.
After he scores.
This is one of the weeks where I'm a little more scared of Russ running though. Like in a rivalry game, like they want to hit him, and you always want to hit the
Right,
quarterback, but
They'll take the 15,
I think they might.
even an
Also,
ejection.
Yeah.
also to play on top of that, Josh McDaniels has to freaking hate the Denver Broncos.
Oh yeah.
The fact that he didn't talk to the media, normally I don't care about that.
Yeah,
but he's
me too.
scared.
Yep.
He's
Oh,
legitimately
yeah, he's
scared.
absolutely scared.
There's no way he would have ever talked to the media because the media would have had some hard hitters.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. He was
Soft
scared.
as shit.
And so exactly. And so a lot of people in my mention saying a lot of worse things
Yeah.
than that too. I got to think he's pumping these Raiders up, doing the opposite of what Nathaniel Hackett is doing and saying, let's beat the hell out of these guys. And I think
You know these Raiders are seeing all this stuff coming out about him this week,
Yeah,
and they probably
yeah.
already have a little piece of them that thinks he's a fraud. I just don't think it hits right in week 3 when you're 0-3. If you're like, guys, like win this one for me. I hate it.
Do this one for me.
Like, dude,
weird
you
though.
kind of suck and you're an asshole.
and that's why. Wait, what were you gonna say, Henry?
Nobody in the locker room knows about the Josh McDaniels stuff. Like I've only heard a couple of people get asked about it, but I think like Bradley said, like there's some history here. I don't really know much about. I was actually talking with Will Sherman today for quite a while because he was with the Patriots with McDaniels the last couple of years. So we were just talking about it, and he didn't know stories. So I was like, yeah, Alfonso Smith, like that happened. And so it's
He's
something
like,
like,
oh, right, yeah, Alfonso Smith.
exactly. Yeah, no, but I mean, I gave more details than that. But like a couple of those things where they just. Obviously, unless you're a Broncos fan, they weren't in the league until 5 years after at the earliest.
Yeah.
This is something that I know John Embry did when he went to CU, which not the best example, but it wasn't his fault. They had no talent on the team. But like when
Big John Embry guy.
when they were playing a team, he would show a video that like highlights the history.
Yeah.
And if the Broncos want to hire me to do this, I will do it. Like put together clips of like why you should hate this team.
Yep.
Essentially, and like show the highlights of dirty hits from the Raiders and show like clips from Mike Shanahan press conferences and
And
explained the Josh McDaniels and how he shamed the Broncos organizations by being, a shady loser. Like, that's I would want my players to have that stuff, fueling them.
I love that. However, not only is it not happening because of kind of what Nathaniel Hackett said, and Nathaniel Hackett this week has also, when asked about the rivalry, said we're not focused on having won in Las Vegas since Peyton Manning was the quarterback. We're focused on the future. I have no control of that. So they're really focused on the future, but also there's no one in this organization that has had a good rivalry with the Ravens, that has been around when there's been this rivalry. Especially, Patrick Smythe has been, but I don't think he's pumping that into these guys' veins. But ownership, no. CEO, no. President, no. GM, no. Head coach,
Bring in
no.
John.
So
He's still around.
Oh, man, I would love that.
Just once, yeah. Just give him one day.
I'd love that. But, there's just no one. So I hope that does start and build, because there's a new foundation here and there's a semi-new foundation out in Las Vegas.
What Broncos character do you think hates the Raiders the most all time? Mike Shanahan?
Oh, all time?
Mike Shanahan's got to be up there.
Didn't
It's
the
gotta
Raiders
be.
withhold money from him that they
Yeah.
owed him?
Oh,
all
yeah.
that stuff. So
It's got to be.
yeah, bring him in.
The stories of
Let him help with the script while he's at it.
yeah, there you go. The stories of people in when they would go to Oakland and they're getting stuff thrown at them when they're walking on and off the field. You got to think those guys truly hate the Raiders.
Yes, and they should.
Yeah.
And everyone should.
I think on the current team, I haven't had a chance to talk with him and figure it out. I think the biggest Raider hater is probably Melvin Gordon. Just because he's played against them even with the Chargers going back. Off the top of my head, he was the one that got my list.
There's one thing we can find common ground. Bradley went out and said it, so.
Yeah. But that's what everybody's... Even Caden Stearns. He's like, yeah, I got here and everybody said we hate the Raiders, so I started hating the Raiders. It's what we do.
That's how it works. The Nebraska rivalry just started because Bill McCartney was like, so who's the best team around here? And they're like, Nebraska. He's like, cool, we hate them.
I love it.
And everyone's like, yeah, you're right, we do hate them.
Yeah. Someone in the comments section, TBD0007, says, we need Keep to leave.
Oh,
Always need a key.
Oh, man. Michael Kratt, that was the closest, among neither team being good, that was the closest the Broncos have ever had to really an AFC West rivalry these past few years.
I've told this story on the show before, but I was in the stadium for Chaingate Part 2 when they actually went to blows.
Yeah, in Oakland.
In Oakland. Yeah, maybe the last game in Oakland. And I've never been more afraid that something really bad was going to happen where I was. I was just this is not the fans were so
And you were in the press box.
angry. And yeah, I'm just in the press box and I'm just something bad. The fans are going to rush the field and attack a keeper, something like that. Because it was the sound that was coming out of that stadium was a different sound than you've ever heard at a football stadium before. I was like, something bad's about to happen. What I didn't realize was the bad thing that was about to happen was Paxton Lynch crying on the sidelines.
And that was the same game. Wasn't that when they brought in Brendan Langley to replace Akib or someone else? And then he was just burned.
Yeah, Trevor Siemian led the Broncos back. I think he had 2 touchdown passes to Cody Latimer. Definitely
great.
won.
Yeah.
And the Broncos needed a big stop to get the ball back with a chance to tie the game. And who would have been the defensive coordinator? Joe Woods, maybe?
so.
Must have been, yeah.
He calls a 0 blitz. And it's just one-on-one Brendan Langley with some scrub receiver, and he just got absolutely cooked.
And if Akib didn't do that, he would have been in, the Broncos would have won the game.
It was the second play of the game or something.
Yeah, it was. Because he was going for it, man. Oh, and just how far they went out of bounds on their scuffle, too.
And then back in
That's
bounds.
the thing, too. It got so close to the fans. I was like, they're going to start jumping onto the field.
Yes.
Dude, true.
Oh,
It just
man.
circled all the way around.
This has made me so pumped for a rivalry
I
coming
know.
back. And there really is no better setup than with Josh McDaniels being with the 49ers or with the Raiders. I was a little scared And I thought we were going to have the offseason to clown on Josh and the Raiders, but I was scared that Josh, because what have we heard? He's one of the smartest football minds that's ever been in the Broncos building, but obviously massive
Insane
management and leadership issues. I thought, man, if you spent these past 10 years getting those issues, not great, but just fixed, it could be bad news. And so far, it's been great news for the Broncos being 0-3.
Yeah, and like I said, when I went back to watch the game yesterday, I wasn't like particularly impressed with the way that they were calling the offense or the concepts or anything like that. It felt like outsmarting themselves. Now, there's always, again, they can figure it out.
Yeah.
They could figure it out this week. And
Just like the Broncos offense.
Of course.
To figure it out.
Exactly.
But you don't need Josh McDaniels to be good. Like, you just have the talent.
Yeah,
like, just
that's
say,
true.
go win your one-on-ones. This isn't... Who they even have there? I can't even... Jacoby Myers and... Whatever other receivers the
Oh, in
Patriots have
New
been
England?
running
Yeah,
out on the field the
yeah.
last 5 years. We
Yeah.
have to get super crafty and try to find ways to get them open.
Crafty, I see what you did, New England.
Oh,
Craft.
boy.
Yeah.
But see, like, you don't even have to think about the offense. Like, the offense is just fine, and that's the one thing Josh McDaniels can do. And now you're just overthinking the one thing that he should be able to do.
He's so used to trying to get under-talented players open that he's still doing it.
Yep.
He's
Devontae.
like, watch this. I can get Mac Hollins 5 catches.
And he did it last week. Devontae Adams, who needs him?
Yeah. Devontae Adams was largely a decoy against the Titans. It's crazy.
Yep. He built him up in game one saying, we're going to give you 17 targets a game, and then said, psych, we're not going to.
Just put him on an island. Just give him space and he'll get open. It's unbelievable.
Not this week if the Broncos do it right.
Instead, Josh is over there giggling, saying like, hey, if you just wait for this guy to come across, you can sneak into the space. It's Devontae freaking Adams.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow, like you said, Hank, the offense, it creates itself there out in New England or out in Las Vegas, and he's just the one that's holding them back.
I have a feeling, I don't know why, I just have a premonition. Josh McDaniels is throwing Derek Carr under the bus very soon.
Ooh.
Man, that's when things crumble, because Derek Carr is the heart and soul of that team throughout everything. I mean, I think Derek Carr deserves a ton of credit for keeping that team in it last year.
Yep.
When they fire their head coach, when one of their players is released and put in jail because of something that happened, Derek Carr's a great leader. He's a good football player, a great leader. And if Josh does that, he's going to lose the whole team, and I don't think it's going to be something that can be reversed.
I wonder, though. He's not in the last year. No, he has a couple years left on his deal.
But it is a weird deal where they gave him the extension
Yep.
this year, but it's pretty much only guaranteed for this year.
Yep. So they can get out of it. And all the rumors were like, yeah, he might be trying to get his own quarterback after this season. You could totally see them moving Derek Carr and then just doing something insane.
Jimmy G?
Jimmy G.
That would be insane.
I mean, what? The Texans wind up with a top 5 pick. They want a quarterback. You go after Davis Mills or something.
Oh.
I remember this is the
That would be insane.
It's the man who tried to bring Matt Castle to Denver and it didn't work.
So is what you're
who knows?
saying the best thing for the Broncos is not Josh actually getting fired and embarrassed. It's Josh
course.
continuing to stay there and blow it
Yeah,
up.
keep Josh McDaniels there as long
So you're
as you
completely
can.
out on Josh.
Yeah.
You?
Yes. I think that there's an old saying. If someone tells you who they are, believe them the first time.
Yeah.
And it's not just you can point to a bunch of guys who figured out the second time they were head coach. It's not just that he failed as a head coach. It's that he was an asshole to everyone around.
Yeah.
And that
very
just
true.
is who he is. And people don't follow that. It just doesn't work. It's the biggest indictment of the Belichick versus Brady thing for me, is that no one else that's taken those philosophies and gone elsewhere has been able to succeed with it. And so it's the reason that it worked for Bill Belichick is because he had Tom Brady. And sure, has Bill learned a million things over the years? And I think the longer you coach, the better you get at it. Of course, he's a great coach. But all these guys go other places and try to, for lack of a better term, just be douchebags. And it doesn't work. And Josh McDaniels might be the worst of them all in terms of his attitude and the way that he treats people. And that just doesn't fly. And to be fair, it works even less in 2022 than it did in 2010.
Yeah, it's a really good point. But I'm not all the way there yet on Josh. I'm still a little scared. I think if the Broncos beat him this week, though, I'm not scared at all. I truly think this game could be that big, where the Broncos can end the Raiders season, I think, without a doubt. I think only 6 teams have ever made the playoffs after starting 0-4 in a season. The Raiders are not going to do that this year. And I think they could really start the end of Josh McDaniels in Las Vegas.
The end of Josh McDaniels in Denver, I mean, you could point to a few different times, but when they lost 59-14 to the Raiders at home, that was probably the most embarrassing Broncos moment of my lifetime.
Yeah.
And that's when you just knew, like, this is over.
Was that Jamarcus?
So, yes.
Even worse.
And Darren McFadden, or was that a different time when Darren McFadden went off?
Yeah.
And let's just reverse it. 59-14 this week. Send Josh packing.
Oh, I posed this question to you guys earlier this week. Is there anything the Broncos can do in this game? And this was off the record. Or this was not when we were not live. Is there anything the Broncos can do this week to have Josh McDaniels fired after this week?
I don't think so. Even 59-14 doesn't get the job done.
59-14. He's done. He's done. Bring Rich Bisaccia back.
He's not even there. He's the
hire
special
him away.
teams coordinator of some other team
Packers.
now. Yeah, Packers.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything the Broncos could do, but I think there's something Josh McDaniels could do to get him fired. Like, I think that if he goes out there, like if he pulls the Urban Meyer, just like kicks Derek Carr or something, or like he's having the other
Crazy enough to do that.
exactly.
Kicks him in the
Exactly.
shoe.
Like there was the Monday night meltdown when he was in Denver,
Yeah.
where he's just like screaming, like something like that might get it done. I don't think there's anything the Broncos could do, but if the Broncos do their part, they could set him up to pull a McDaniels, do whatever he does.
Love that. I love that. At the podium, that's when he throws Derek Carr under the bus, but it's like so public and obvious, and Mark Davis is watching him from the side of it. Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Behind some of that one-way glass like they have in the Broncos press conference room.
Yes.
Oh, man. I wish. Honestly, maybe I don't. I don't know. This is always the hard thing. Like, I was so sad when Nebraska fired Scott Frost. But it would be really great. I mean, how many games before the Jags fired Urban Meyer?
This would be way before that.
Yeah.
Was it 8?
I want to.
like
It was
10 or
at least.
12.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
it was after midseason.
Just took too long.
That would be even better, though. Maybe Mark Davis learned from that. He's like, he looked at Jacksonville last year and it's like, after 4 games, everyone knew that Urban Meyer should have been fired. Maybe Mark Davis last year was like, what are they doing holding on to him? Maybe he'll find that realization out after this week.
Oh, man. that would be
13
good.
games for Urban last year. But I mean, at the same time, though, what do you really get if you fire McDaniels? Like your season's done.
Yeah.
You're 0-4.
Yeah.
It's like you look at Urban Meyer. It's like, yeah, they should have fired him before. So what? So they could have won 2 more games. They're doing just fine right now. It's not like they needed more positive momentum.
What you would be doing if you fire Josh now is just telling the team, like, we are choosing you guys over this toxic culture, over this head coach. I'm Mark Davis, I'm choosing Derek Carr over Josh McDaniels, and Derek, I want you to know that.
There's a couple things that have just made me decide I do not want them to fire Josh McDaniels. Number 1,
Everything.
Josh McDaniels will get so much money again. He collected $7 million from the Broncos when they fired him. He'd probably get even more this time.
Yeah.
That's sickening. And he'll go right back to New England and be good again for them.
He'll be good, and then he'll get that head coaching job too
No, there's no way he can get a third one.
in New England. That's the only place he could.
There's a chance. The crazy thing is New England didn't even replace him. They just brought in like the 2 co-offensive coordinator, whatever they call. They
How's
didn't
that
even
working
name
for 'em?
coordinators. Oh, it went horribly. But it might have been just to keep Josh's seat warm because they thought he was going to get fired.
Yeah. Maybe it wasn't.
Maybe they're
even,
bringing him back mid-season.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't even. We think you're going to get fired. Maybe it was Josh. Go out there, get a big payday,
See you week 9.
destroy the Raiders. We're a little afraid of them. Come back here.
Yep. Yeah.
The Raiders ended up settling with John Gruden, right? They didn't have to pay him all like $60 million or whatever that was left on that, or did they?
He's suing them right now.
That's right.
Okay,
So
they
I think it's still undecided.
they I'm sure claimed that they aren't going to have to pay him that money.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a fireable offense or something.
Right. interesting. I was going to say, how much money could they be paying coaches
Oh
to
my
not be
gosh.
around?
I don't feel bad about the Davis family having to pay coaches.
That is one of the poorest ownership groups, though, in the
Great.
NFL.
Oh
no, it's incredible.
Make them bleed. And the last thing that I have to say is, I was thinking about this morning, and it just hit me how funny it is, and how the Chiefs and Broncos can just laugh at the Raiders and Chargers for, in the past couple years, both having to move cities and not having a good established fan base, and just how much of a joke that is. So at least Kansas City, they're loyal, they're not losing their team, and the Broncos are with them on that, because just how pathetic it is for the Raiders and Chargers.
Yes, it really is. All right, we're going to get to
Real quick.
Oh.
Pro Football Network has Mark Davis as the poorest owner in the NFL.
Wow.
Unless you count the Packers, who don't even have an owner. $500 million net worth.
Wow. Think about if he sold it. He could almost times 10.
Yeah.
That's why they had to
his
get
net worth.
That's why they had to get rid of Khalil Mack back in the day, because they have the money to put away.
It's embarrassing.
It is.
Cannot
and now
relate.
they're doing
Yeah.
this. It's incredible.
Cannot relate. All right, I want to remind you guys to come down for the bar, to the bar for the game on Sunday. It should be an absolute blast. Last few games in here have been electric, so this one we'll get our Raider hate on in the bar on Sunday. Try out some Avalanche nachos. You could get a Mecklenburger if you want. So many great options at the DNVR bar. Got to try those fried pickles. So come down, hang out with us for the game on Sunday. Of course, you can also come to our sticker party tomorrow night. I'm sure you guys have seen this in some bars, but essentially like under the bar where your feet would be when you're sitting at the bar, we want to decorate that entire strip
Love it.
with stickers. So bring your favorite stickers, represent, your favorite company or your favorite brewery or whatever, and we just want to cover that thing top to bottom with stickers. So that's what we're doing tomorrow, starting at 5 o'clock.
I love it. I love it. And check out our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. We talked about it already. Many ways to get in some money tonight. Bet the early win. All three of us are going with Dolphins plus 150. And what this early win is, it's really cool. They do it for, I believe, every single game, right? But on Thursday nights, if your team gets a 7-point lead at any point in the game, that money line bet hits right away. You can cash out. You can do whatever you want with that money. And I love it, especially for tonight. I don't know if the Dolphins are going to win, but the 3-0 Dolphins have a chance to win twice. It's like a parlay that you have two options to win. And so the Dolphins either up 7 at any point tonight, or they win the game. You win your plus 150 or plus 160, I think is what we got it at. So
We got
head
a plus
to
170.
plus
I was
170
yep.
even. I love it. So head to the App Store, download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up, because if you're new, if you sign up and you're new with DraftKings, place a $5 money line bet on any NFL game, you get $200 in free bets in your account. That's over at DraftKings Sportsbook. See our details, our show notes. Yes, there we go, for all of the details.
When you hit your parlay or your early win or whatever it is, blow all your money on Breckenridge beers. Yeah, they're so good. They're so good. Let's see. So I'm coming to the bar Saturday to watch all the college games. I'll be here Sunday for all the pro games. I think I can probably get 6 beers down. Seven Breckenridge beers is a good weekend goal.
For the weekend?
I think for the weekend. I'm not
The
meant
problem
for a
for
lot
you
of it.
is that Sunday you have to be smarter.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why, like, if I have 2 throughout the day
Yeah.
and then 2 more, like maybe 1 on the show, 1 while I write. Even there, I guess we're already up to 4, so that's plenty.
Yeah,
Saturday's the open-ended one.
Saturday you can get at least 9.
Especially because CU's at 7:30,
Oh gosh.
so they're
PM.
not done till 11.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might
Would be
as
nice
well
to get
play
that
at
out of the way.
7:30.
Yeah. Like, oh no, I slept through the first
Turn it
10
on
minutes.
in bed. Be like, yeah, it's over.
Roll
Get
back
on
over
with
and
your
go
day.
sleep.
That'd be the London game for the Broncos.
Yep. Except it'll be exciting.
A good game.
Thank God. Breckenridge beers, though, that's how you spend your football Sundays and Saturdays and whatever other days you have to drink. Strawberry Sky, Vanilla Porter, all sorts of good stuff. Use the beer locator at breckbrew.com. You'll be able to pick out what beer you want to try. It'll tell you exactly where to go to pick it up. And make sure you don't miss out on their hootenanny either.
One thing we forgot to mention when talking about the hatred for the Raiders and their staff. Tom McMahon, special teams coordinator.
Yeah. It's so hard. I mean,
Seeing
I know.
those two stand next to each other is just chef's kiss for
It's
me.
a great meme right there.
Yep.
As a fan, I totally get hating Tom McMahon, but man, Tom McMahon was too good to his players. Every single week, he would fall on the sword. I mean, a guy would drop a punt, and he's like, "That's on me. That's completely on me." There's so many mental errors by players, and he would just take it all. And the incredible thing was how long he lasted after every single week saying, "It's all my fault. It's all my fault." The coach was like, "Oh, it's your fault. We'll keep you around for another year."
Yeah, I'll never understand that. Like, it's something I was talking about yesterday. I guess it's technically a form of nepotism of just like the NFL family of coaches just never changes. Yeah. Like no one new ever comes in. Once you're in the circle, you're just in the circle. Like
Good.
there's probably like 5 like young people a year who like work their way in through some cracks. Their dad was probably a coach anyway, and it's unbelievable. So like Tom McMahon, like the new coaching staff comes in and they just look around and they're like, "Oh, we could try someone new, or we can just keep this guy around, even though he kind of sucks."
Yep, and that's why it's so incredible that like Mike McCoy's last job was with the Broncos. He didn't get another job after that. That's how
He
bad
did.
of it.
He got the Cardinals job the very next year and got fired
And
after
then he
7
got
weeks.
fired. I think Bill Musgrave was the guy that didn't get another job. I mean, it's crazy
Yes.
how many people's careers have died in Denver over the past 5
Did
years.
he go to Cal?
He did. He's the OC at Cal last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
As recently as then.
Wow.
Yep.
Yikes.
Billy Moose, man, you can get a good quote out of him.
Billy-
One.
One
You get one good quote out of him ever.
And Jeff Legwold was the one that just got
Just
it out.
ribbed him hard enough for him to snap back. So yeah, shout out Tom McMahon and Josh McDaniels on the same staff.
Yep. Hope they
Oh
get
man,
both
give me a Montrell return this week.
Oh, that would be so good.
Oh man, I need it in my life.
Dwayne Stukes and Tom McMahon about as two opposites as you can get.
Yes. By the way, did Dwayne Stukes like recant his Corliss Waitman?
He just said, "Yeah, I'm really happy for him." Not even really. I think it was like, "I'm happy for him."
Wow.
Special teams coaches can't be positive. You got to be negative. You just have to be terrifying and mean.
Yeah.
Because all it is just like, don't fuck up. That's the entire like job of everybody out there. It's just like,
From Hank.
I know I
Look
can't
at
panic.
you.
But I mean, I was thinking about Dwayne Stukes. How could it not?
Yeah,
but
it's true.
that's how it goes. It's just like, yep, you run down the field, you make the tackle, you miss the tackle. Bad special teams game for everybody. It's
very
like
true.
you make the punt. Nobody's giving you props for pinning a punt inside the 10. Not very many people, at least. But if you have a bad one, there goes the special teams grade for the whole game.
It's a good point, and that
By
was
the
one
way,
of the things.
the Wisnowski punt has to go down as the best punt ever, right?
Yes, incredible. It
tough to
was
beat.
perfect.
It was
mean,
literally within
perfect.
millimeters of the goal line.
That was really good.
Yep. In multiple ways too. Like
Yes.
the kick return team
Yes.
got it. The ball was as perfect as it could be.
Bounced like
Yeah.
at the right angle for him to be
How
able to get
long
it.
was it? Do we remember?
I don't. You could probably make a case for someone
Exactly.
pinning it inside the one from like 70 yards away or something. but
Right. This one wasn't a short one though. It wasn't like 38 yards or something.
No,
think
and
it was
I-
at least a decent.
I remember like as soon as I saw where it landed, I'm like, oh, touchback.
Right,
and then I
right,
saw the dude go flying in the air. I'm like, no way.
Yeah. Because they always try that, and they always step on the line or
Yeah,
something like that.
And you always think, why is that so hard?
right.
Like, it seems like it would be really easy just to go, jump before the line, get the ball, throw it back. But they never do it.
No, they don't.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And that was actually just one of the things that Dwayne Stukes talked about today. He said, last week was the first time that I've seen Broncos standard of football played. And I think he was just referring to special teams and said, but what I told the guys.
Must be.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah. Unless he's talking about the Vic Fangio era of just defense. But he said, and I told the guys, that can't be your Super Bowl. We need to do that week in and week out. So, Hank, it's kind of what you're saying. Like, in that sentence, in that statement, I don't even think he said, like, great job. He was just like, that's a Broncos standard of football, and that's what it needs to be every week.
Yep,
Yeah.
straight
I
up.
like it.
So
All right.
we'll see. Let's go around the AFC West, but first, let's give our Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders game picks. Who do you guys got?
I'll take the Broncos. Like, coming
Not
into
very
this
convincing.
coming into this season, I would have said, yeah, definitely taking the Broncos here. But because the Raiders have been so close but have lost so many games, just the desperation makes me think that they might have an edge here, which is weird because it's like they've underperformed, and so I think they might have a better chance of winning than what I gave them credit for. I'm going with the Broncos, but
That's what I call a Thursday thought.
oh, I appreciate that.
It's just, that won't be there on Sunday.
Okay.
No.
0-3. 0-3. The Broncos are a good team. They can beat them too.
Score?
This is the tougher part. Give me the good old. You know what? I gotta keep them to 16. The Raiders.
Okay.
16 for the Raiders.
That's the Broncos number.
I know. 21 for the Broncos. 21-16.
Oh, an offensive
24-16. 24-16.
output. Love it. Ryan?
Speaking of offensive outputs, I'm going to call the breakout game here. I think this is where the Broncos finally get rolling. Actually, it's just going to look just like the Seahawks game, but with touchdowns. And in that Seahawks game, they could have scored 38. 31 maybe was more likely. So I'm going to go with that number. 31 points, which, by the way, is their first 2 games combined in terms of points. So I am going out on a limb here. 31 points for the Broncos, 17 points for the Raiders. The Broncos look in control the entire time.
31-17, is that
Yep.
what I'm getting?
Yep.
Okay, and then Hank, you had 24-16?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just writing
you
these
said-
down right now.
I thought he said 21, but maybe not.
No, I changed my mind. 24.
Okay.
24-16. The Denver Broncos are just the better team. And what did we talk about? I talked about yesterday how the Broncos have, or how the Raiders have a lot of good pieces on offense, and it hasn't come together. And Ryan, you said, yeah, why? And it's coaching. And so the Raiders do have talent. That's what's a little scary about this game. Is it's not wouldn't be a shock if the Raiders put up 24 points against this good Broncos defense. But the Raiders just as a team still are not good, and the Broncos are still figuring things out on offense. But at least they have their defense to lean back on. But, and Henry, this is something you talked about, desperation. As Star Wars says, desperation, you can't duplicate desperation. And that's
That's
what
Star Wars says.
Yeah. And so that scares me about this game. But the Broncos are the better team. They're going to win this. They're going to win it 24-20. So, Hank, I like your score. The Broncos win. Defense gives up the most points they have this year, but it's still not an embarrassment. And the offense puts up way more points than they have this year. So we all 3 have the Broncos winning.
As we should.
Is that a bad sign?
No. I mean,
Confident?
it's hard to pick the Raiders to win right now. As we know, anything can happen in the NFL. The thing is, like, the Broncos aren't undesperate. Like, sure, they aren't season on the line style game, but they are desperate to try to prove to people that they're the team that they think they can be. And I think especially Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson are desperate to get the offense going and get things right. So it's not the same level of desperation. But it's not as if the Broncos are just cruising into a trap game. Like, they don't feel good either. So they know that they have a lot of work to do.
And my only, and I agree with the last point you said, but at first you said any given Sunday. This isn't an any given Sunday game because the Raiders, this isn't the Broncos have to crap the bed. Pardon my phrase there.
Me and Hank are dropping F-bombs. Zach's apologizing for crap.
But, I mean, the Raiders could just simply outplay the Broncos.
Yeah.
That part would be their offense would just have to go crazy in order for that to happen just because of how bad their defense really is. Unless Chandler Jones finally shows up for the first time in pretty much an entire year. And Max Crosby, he's good too. But the Broncos win. I like this. Let's get to the worst game in the AFC West right now. Get this one off the docket. You got the Chargers going up against the Texans. Have you guys heard any injury updates on Justin Herbert? Is he for sure playing?
I would
Sounds like it.
imagine.
Also, the medical community is coming after Hank for his comments on ribs yesterday.
But they were not understanding. There's like, oh, it really hurts. You have to use your ribs for everything. Like you breathe and your ribs. But that's not the point. The point is like everything is still stable in there. Like it still gets to keep healing unless you pop it out. But popping it out is really hard to do.
But you're arguing with like people who know what they're talking about.
No, I'm not. All they were saying was like, yeah, no, it really hurts when you play with your ribs. And it's like, yeah, I know it hurts.
No, hold on. Let me see
Okay.
if I can find it here. Someone tell Hank his thought process is actually completely reversed for rib injuries. Ribs need longer time to rest, whether it's a bruise on the bone, cartilage, or a break. When you're playing, you're increasing the breathing rate and intensity, which directly affects the rib cage, not to mention playing a contact sport where there's routine external pressure. So, like, the point being, if you actually want to heal your ribs, you can't do anything.
But everybody's breathing. Everybody's breathing.
And I think
but
that's why it
people
takes
with rib
more
injuries
time.
literally try to breathe, like take like short breaths, which you cannot do while you're playing football.
I don't know.
A rib injury
This is-
sounds like one of the worst things to have. Not just for a football player, like for anyone.
Yep.
Yeah. This is all just based on when I cracked my rib when I was in 8th grade.
Oh, so you do have something to back it
Yeah,
up.
no.
How'd it happen?
That's what they said. I was returning a kick.
Okay.
Oh, in football.
Yeah, I'm not really meant for that. I was well in front of the kick returner, but I got it and I ran and then bang, next thing you know, bad rib.
Did you feel it?
Oh, yeah, I felt it. But then we went to the doctor and it was one of those things where there's like, yeah, I mean, ribs, you can just play. Like, it's fine just to play. It's just going to hurt really bad. And I was like, okay, well, that seems fine then.
Maybe you went to a bad doctor.
Probably up there.
Did you play?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big Hank. I
Yep.
love it.
Needed somebody to hand the ball off to the running backs.
That's great.
So Justin Herbert is playing, and I believe this line's gone from like 7 or 8 or maybe even more to now like 3 or 4
For good reason.
in Houston.
Give me the
Ryan,
Texans.
You're taking the underdog. I love it. Texans get their first win. Hank, you following suit?
Oh God. You know, I have the bet on the Texans, but that's because of the odds. I think I've got to take the Chargers.
You don't have to.
No, I think I do. I really think I do. I've gotten 4 games right so far through 3 weeks of this. I need wins, and taking the Texans over the Chargers is just a bad formula, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, obviously people have crushed me for this. I believe in Brandon Staley. I like what he's doing. And I like that, honestly, he's taken Ryan's approach of like, if you're going to do something, go all out in it in terms of trusting analytics, being
He's
aggressive.
kind of come back from that this year.
Well, yes, he has. But I'm very much starting to question Brandon Staley. And this game is going to lose me if they lose this. If Justin Herbert
I
plays,
believe they lost to the Texans last year
They did.
with a healthy Justin Herbert.
But if Justin Herbert plays and they lose, I don't have anything to back Brandon Staley with anymore. If Justin Herbert doesn't play and they lose, okay, they didn't have their starting quarterback. But the only way that Brandon Staley's fine in my book is if Justin Herbert plays and they win and he looks okay enough, or if Chase Daniels plays and they win. So I think this is a huge little moment for Brandon Staley, not just as like an X's and O's guy, but really a leader of an organization right now. So I am going to pick the Chargers in this game because you talk about desperation. If they're playing Justin Herbert in this game, it means they feel extremely desperate.
And they should.
And they should. It wouldn't shock me with the way they looked last week, though, if they lose.
It's crazy. I don't know why I just started thinking this, but how many times the Raiders and Chargers have hired a former Broncos coordinator as their head coach?
The Raiders, yeah.
Like, it's happened like several times in the last decade.
So you have Shanahan. You have...
What about Shanahan?
not in the past decade.
No,
yeah.
It was Dennis Allen.
Yeah.
There was an offensive guy during the Peyton era who was hired
For the
for
Raiders?
one of those two teams.
Okay.
Mike McCoy.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
There's at least those two. Brandon Staley, there's 3.
Yep. That's a good point.
That just shows them their little brother.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
Jack Del Rio.
Yeah,
Wow.
JDR. I love
This
it.
is like their pipeline, and it just never works.
Man, the Chiefs just need to, when Andy Reid moves on, the Broncos need to infiltrate their building.
There we go. Send them Joe Woods.
Yeah, unfortunately, I hope it's not like Ejiro.
Yeah.
I think so far, he looks like the truth, not just as a defensive guy, but as just like a great leader.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, now the game of
I
He
chose the
chose
Texans.
Texans. Now this final game, Sunday night football. We're all going to be able to watch it after the Broncos beat the Raiders. Chiefs going into Tampa. The game is officially staying in Tampa as of this morning from the NFL. The Bucks are like a 1-point underdog. Is that right?
I think they're
No,
still
it's
favored.
heavier than that. No.
Oh,
I think
really?
the Chiefs are favored.
Oh no,
yeah.
that's right. They are still favored, but it's a minus 105 money line.
Oh, so they changed it back after they found out that.
Yes.
So they were hedging a little bit there.
We could have got in on that.
So wait,
minus-
what do we
yeah,
have as
minus
the line
1.5.
now? -1.5.
Minus 1.
Chiefs.
Yes. Well, and actually, so Chiefs are +1. So Chiefs are the underdog.
Oh.
But you can get them +1 at minus 115, or you can take them to win also at minus 115.
That
take
makes
the
no
point.
sense.
So definitely take the free point there. And if you're trying to take the spread on the other
But
side,
all that opens up for you is a push, which is better than
better
nothing.
than
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
you
if
might
you're getting the
as well.
same money, yeah. Yeah, but definitely don't take that Bucks -1 at minus 105 when you can just take the minus 105 money line. I'm not sure what they're doing here.
Did you hear the stat that I said? And it doesn't necessarily apply in this game, but 49 games have been played so far.
Okay.
And of those games, 41 of the games out of 49, the spread has not mattered, meaning the favorite either covered or the dog won outright.
Wow.
And that'll just add to it.
Right. That's kind of crazy.
Super crazy.
Wow. So Vegas is very wrong, is what it's saying?
Vegas,
Kind
I
of?
really think what it is Vegas wants to bait you into losing, essentially wants to bait you into losing value on betting the spread. Like they are giving you some people are taking just like the minus 150 money line on a favorite when you should really just take the points, or the other way around. You're taking the
Gotcha.
7
Yeah,
points
yeah.
on the dog when really you should just be taking it.
Right. Wow, that's crazy.
It is.
That's crazy. And that was hard for me to wrap my mind around. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around this game. I don't know what is going to happen in this game. This is one where, like, if I come out of the weekend ahead on DraftKings, I'm like, okay, I can have some fun with this one. If I don't, I'm like, I can't
Stay
lose
away.
any more money because I don't know what's going on with this game. I mean, the Bucks defense is what's going to win them this game if they win it. But Patrick Mahomes in that offense just looks a lot better than the Bucks offense. So I guess I'm just going to take Kansas City here. Don't feel great about it at all, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's Tampa Bay and Tom winning this.
Hank?
I've got the Bucks.
Damn it.
I think. Wow. They didn't score many points last week, but the Packers defense is really good too. That doesn't excuse it, but when the Bucks defense is as good as it is, I'm willing to ride that until somebody's able to break it. And I think the offense is going to be able to put up 20 points against this Chiefs defense, and I think that's enough.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue here is that those receivers are going to have a hard time getting open with the amount of time that they're going to have. Super Bowl all over again.
And Tampa too.
Right, exactly. So that's what I'm seeing here. I could definitely see a world where the Bucks only put up 20 points and Mahomes has the ball down 20-14 late in the game and they go drive down and win it. But it's going to be a struggle, I think, for Mahomes in that offense. And speaking of, the over-under set at 46, and I like the under.
You like the under? I like the under in the Broncos game. Hank, your score had it as the under, and Ryan, your score had it as the over because of the Broncos offense coming to life.
Yep. If I didn't have just a gut feeling about the offense coming to life this week, I would be hammering the under.
Okay, I like that. And something that I don't like, though, is I'm picking all AFC West again, which I did last week, and I went 0 for 4. That can't happen this week. I could only go 0 for 3, and I hope that doesn't happen because I have the Broncos winning this game. And Ryan, you're doing the exact opposite. You're doing what you did last week. Fade the AFC West outside of the Broncos, which got you to 4-0. And let me read off the standings really quick. Coming into this week, before we made these picks, Ryan, you're first. 5-5.
Let's go.
5-5. Remember, you started bad. You started 0-3.
Yep.
So you're on a hot streak, but Hank, he's only 500. You and me are right in it. You are 4-6.
Oh, that's not as bad as I thought.
I'm 3-7. But since I
Sucker.
picked one game different than you and 2 games different than you, I can tie you guys after this weekend.
Wow.
Change.
So let's go, baby. Also, some updated picks for our season-long teams coming in last with 12 points coming into tonight.
It's got to be me.
RK.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
Henry, you're there. You got a pretty good lead on Ryan. You're at 15. But no one's close to me, baby. 19 points for
Okay.
me.
That's not as bad as I
No
thought.
one's close
I made
to
some
me.
ground up. Oh, that's not bad at all.
It's so weird how little Numbies understands Numbies. Like he said that he said something about how like Oceans dominated the poll or something when it won by 1%.
Yeah, dominated, I would say.
Doesn't
Remember when the
get
Broncos dominated the 49ers last week?
All I'd look at that as a win. Well, I have something for Oceans, but we'll save it because I know people in the comments want it. But one more thing we
Freshwater
need to get
gang.
to. One more thing we need to get to. Henry, last week you chose the Eagles in the Survivor pool. You have moved on.
Damn
Go
right.
Birds.
Ryan, you chose the Bungles.
Yep.
They won.
Easy.
You have
Ugh.
moved on, and I
Gross.
chose the most rocky path with the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh.
And they came back in crazy fashion. So we all live. Who are you guys taking this week?
Which teams have I used?
You have used, that's a great question. Hank.
Yeah, it's an
You have
important
used
one.
the Ravens.
Okay.
You have used the Bills. And
Okay.
you have used the Eagles. So Henry has
the
used
3
the best
best
teams out of any of us so far.
The strategy was like I don't want to waste those teams.
That's fair.
So if I just put them all together, I can ride out, I can get a win, I can outlast you guys, but I've made no progress. Neither of you is out yet.
But if you guys don't know, do you know your picks yet? Oh, Ryan, I'll tell
I've
you
used
your
the Colts,
teams. Yes.
the Broncos,
Yes.
and whoever I
Bengals.
picked
The
last
Bengals,
week. Yeah,
yeah.
Bengals. Okay. I am going to take the Green Bay Packers.
Ah, damn it,
Ah,
Ryan.
interesting.
We picked the same team last week. Or no, we didn't. We picked the same team
Broncos,
2 weeks ago. I'm also picking the Packers. This is one where I feel comfortable. I've made it through 3 weeks, taking some dicey picks outside of the Broncos playing the Texans. This is the time to burn a good team.
Yeah, Brian Hoyer is not going to beat Aaron Rodgers.
In fact, I think the game is 10.5 points.
9 right now. Yeah.
9? Oh, it fell under?
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. I love that.
Yeah, it's because the over-under set at 40.5, so the spread can't be that big.
That's true.
Like, they only imagine a few points being scored.
So they're saying like 30. No, they're not saying that. What are they saying? 25-15? Yeah.
Something like that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Henry, you know?
I'll take the
Let's take the
give me the Lions. Give me the Lions against the Seahawks.
What?
Give me they score what? They have the second most
Second
touchdowns
best,
in the NFL.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm riding
Well,
it.
they
I
at
don't think
least
the
at
Seahawks
home.
are that good. Also,
Okay, they are
side
at home.
note, I've already bet the Patriots money line. This Packers team is not good right now. And the other thing,
Wait, didn't you just say the Packers defense is the truth when talking about the Bucks 4.5 minutes ago?
yeah, it's been a long 4.5 minutes. I don't think that okay, Brian Hoyer not that good. Also, maybe not worse than Mac Jones is.
Shut up.
Maybe not.
Get outta
That's
here.
actually not a bad take.
I know.
Get
Although,
outta
when's the last
here.
time Brian Hoyer played a game? I feel like he's just been the backup for the Patriots for like 3 years without playing.
Yeah.
I watched him all preseason. I watched every game, and he was so sharp.
So what's the money line?
It was like 3-1, I think.
Oh, man. It'd have to be way more.
plus
for me to do
340.
that. Okay. I mean, that's about as juicy as you're going to get in the NFL.
Yeah, I mostly just took that spread, like 9.5 points.
Oh, you took the spread.
but I did take the money line too.
Okay.
the big
okay.
bet was
Well,
on
dabble.
the spread.
Okay,
I was like, yeah,
that.
why not
Yep,
throw
yep.
something in there?
Balance it out.
And 0 starts in 2021. 0 starts in 2020.
So no take is what I'm hearing. No
There you
take.
go. No tape.
So the last time he started was pre-COVID, 2019.
Wow. Those were the days.
Back-to-back losses, by the way.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was probably playing good teams, not the Packers.
Wait, let's find out when the last time he won a game was.
I'm so down for this hate, though, Hank, because I
Yeah.
clearly don't like the Packers either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love it if I'm
Okay.
wrong on that. I would love it. And that's
Okay.
an afternoon game, right?
I'm to
I think so,
2018.
yeah.
No wins in 2018 as a starter. 2017.
So he's
Oh my
due.
gosh. How far you have to go back?
No wins. Oh, wait. Okay, so he was. This is the postseason. Oh God, so many losses. Wait.
No
Okay.
way.
No. Yep. Did not win a game in 2017. as a starter.
That was when he was with the 49ers, right?
I do think Bailey Zappi
Did
might be
w-
better than Hoyer.
You know who the last team that he beat as a starter was?
Broncos.
The Detroit Lions
No.
in 2016. I think I have this right. I'm
You do.
quickly
you do.
scrolling.
I'm looking at it. You do. You
My
have it
God,
right.
he hasn't won a start since 2016.
Last winning season he had was 2015 when he was the quarterback of who?
Browns.
Nope. Further back.
The Jets?
Nope.
Niners?
Nope.
Texans.
Yeah.
There we
you go.
go.
5-4 with the Houston Texans.
That was the Ryan Mallett, Brian Hoyer quarterback competition.
the quarterback debacle, right?
That is crazy. He beat the Lions 17-14 in 2016. Imagine 2016. That's the beginning of the Broncos skid.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Everything.
all
we've
of that
gone
time
through.
that we've gone through, that was the last time Brian Hoyer won a start.
Yikes.
Trevor Siemian won a game for the Broncos more recently than Brian Hoyer won for any team.
That is wild. That is wild. One thing you don't have to go that far back on is hearing about Hassel Cattle Company.
Oh,
Because
man.
we've worked with them a lot in the past, and they are back. We want to give you guys 20% off your entire purchase over at Hassel Cattle Company by using the code DNVR20 when you check them out at Hassel Cattle Company, and they've got everything. And it's so good, and it's homegrown in Texas, and the best thing is it ships straight to your house, so it's farm to your door, and it's the choice for home cooks and restaurant chefs. It's versatile, full of flavor. They have so many different things, and we even have them at our tailgates. So if you want to try some Hassel Cattle Company, come to our tailgates to try them out. And when you do, you're going to fall in love with it. And you're going to want to use code DNVR20 for 20% off your entire purchase over at Hassel Cattle Company.
Very easily the best meat I've ever bought. Like, you know, like you'll go to a steakhouse and have some crazy stuff. But
That's what
in terms
you
of
said.
like,
I wasn't sure what.
in terms of things like you just like bought for yourself to cook,
Yeah.
Easily.
That's it.
Wow.
20% off.
The
Yep.
top meat.
The top meat.
at least
Unbelievable.
at your own house. But I mean, I haven't tried their like finest cuts, so that could be.
Oh,
Could be
like
probably
I'm just
better.
going the affordable
Yeah.
route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Sounds like I'm talking about game time.
Yeah. Speaking of affordable.
It's so affordable. If you're trying to go to anything, Game Time is your answer. They've got all sorts of awesome deals on tickets. You go to the website, there's like flash deals and all that sort of stuff. There's a way to set it, and this is what I always do, so that there's no fees. So you just see all the prices with the fees, and it's super convenient. It just shows you the map. You get to click on whatever you want to click on. This pop up all the different prices on the map. It's a really cool thing. So if you're looking for tickets to literally anything, Game Time is your answer. Make sure that you go to the link in our description, click on that, and then you will be able to join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app. You'll be able to buy your seats.
And Allie's showing you the awesome interface that they have in case you're going to Las Vegas. That's what they've got going on this week. You get tickets. Got some good flash tickets there for under $200. Love it.
It's a steal.
A lot of Broncos fans. In fact, I believe the more based on some email someone sent me,
Yeah, I got that one.
Broncos fans have bought more tickets to this game than any away fan base this week.
Wow. I love. Is this the most expensive game this week as well? I think I heard that.
It's gotta be.
Maybe I'm not right on that. But probably
Vegas is the most expensive ticket
just all the time.
in general, yeah. So you'd
Wow.
expect this, yeah.
Wow.
Vegas, man, they just pretend like money is at a different value in Vegas, and
They do.
you just don't like. Everywhere you go, money just is worth less, and
true.
you just have to like accept it while you're there.
It's really true. I
It's
mean,
like London.
I went
It's so
to-
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very true. I went to, this was right before COVID. My really good friends got married during the Broncos season, which is just the worst. Don't get married in the Broncos
No,
season if
that's
you want.
terrible.
No fall
Please,
weddings ever.
Please,
Yeah. I will
no, don't
boo your
do
wedding.
that. Yes, I know, but I still go to all of them and just
Aw.
make it a nightmare on myself waking up at 2 a.m. But anyways, so this wedding was the same game as a Raiders or same weekend as a Raiders home game, and we were supposed to stay on the Strip. On the Strip, they raise the prices like ×3 when there's a Raiders home game. And apparently people not only pay that, but then they pay the crazy Raiders prices.
Yes.
You're right. Money just, when you go to Vegas, money doesn't matter.
Yeah, you'll like eat dinner and it's like $55 for just like a standard thing that would cost like $20 in Denver, and you're just like, I mean, I guess I did win that sports bet today. So.
Right. But the other thing is, you go to the other side of town, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, you're getting steak and lobster for $8.50.
Yes, if you get off the strip,
exactly,
you're free.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very
Also,
true.
number one place where I'm in support of In-N-Out, because their prices are just the regular prices.
It's a good point.
Wow.
At least we found your way of supporting In-N-Out.
The one time I'll do it. All right, shall we get to super chats?
Hell yeah, we shall.
Absolutely.
What do we got here? First one's from Cody, who says, it's a cheap shot is taken in the game. I can see K-Jack getting ejected. He ain't going to take no crap.
On the flip side of that,
Excuse my language for saying crap.
Yes.
don't do that. Plug my ears. On the flip side, if there is something that like the Broncos do that maybe it's a little bit iffy, I've got Randy Gregory. You just watch what he does on a play-to-play basis. He's just like a running back stood up. He just sprints in and starts throwing swings at the ball. Ref starts blowing whistle. Like, he's just kind of like on top of guys at the bottom, and he's just kind of like rolling around as he gets up. Like, nothing that is dirty, but is just the most physical route. I could see how that could start something this week.
We don't want
Love
hate
that.
to be spread,
Yes,
but we want a rivalry to start.
I love hate so
We want
much.
a rivalry to start. Watch me squatch. Interesting. Says,
I will.
if we can take out the garbage, as in Derek Carbage, get some sacks and pressure, we will win. Coming in
love
from
that.
Watch Me Squatch.
I love that.
Take out the garbage.
Take
out the garbage.
Gotta make a sign. A shirt. There's a shirt idea.
Yeah, no.
Turn it around by Sunday.
I like it.
I don't think Eric's gonna like that one.
Take out the garbage.
Last one's from Triple G, who says, Zach, different Zach must be.
It must be.
The one from that game on the Xbox, Fusion Frenzy.
Oh, okay. There's a ZAK on there.
Yeah, I think
hell is
so.
that? Fusion
Guys,
Frenzy.
Russ isn't running because of choice/scheme.
Yeah, that needs to change.
Does.
Yeah, and now maybe not all the time. We're not telling him he needs to get the 500 yards he's averaged in his career, but he needs to be more mobile, and that needs to be on him, and that needs to be on Nathaniel Hackett.
If I had to pick one, I'd say scheme first, just because. I mean, there's two pieces. First of all, we can just see there's no design runs. There's no like read options or anything. So there's like a big check in the scheme box. But the other one is, somebody asked on Monday, why hasn't Russ been doing so much off script? And Hackett was like, well, what do you mean by even off script? Like, everything's on script. It's just that, it's read 1, read 2, read 3, and then number 4 is to go. And then that's the script, is that number 4 is go. And so if he's going by the script, though, the point is running his way down the script. Again, it's scheme. I go scheme.
I would kill for a zone read on the goal line.
He's so good. It would be so good. Maybe they're just setting it up, and so that they're not reading it at all. It's on prime time. It's
Yep.
against the Chiefs.
You pretty much can get away with doing it once a game,
Yeah.
and they're like the other team won't be ready for it.
Yeah, I especially when you have Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon, like two backs that you have to respect.
Yep. Give me one. Just one a game, honestly.
Yeah, I would love it.
All right, let's get into the actual questions from the listeners here. And the first one comes in from Nikola Jokic, QB1.
Let's go.
Commenting a day late because there were a ton of comments on Tuesday's episode, but I want to say that the bodies of water debate was the content I didn't know I needed in my life. DNVR debates spin-off pod win.
Let's go.
I have a feeling the off season with the three of us, a full off season with the three of us, is going to get pretty.
Disgusting.
I'm actually shocked, so I want to, I guess, thank and apologize to our listeners. I thought we were going to get a bunch of like YouTube comments being like, "Where's the Broncos talk?"
That's so too.
But that debate was just so compelling that no one complained about it.
It's so universal.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about water.
Yeah.
It's
We all
true.
need water.
So thanks, Hank, for bringing that up.
Was that me?
He goes.
I was trying to remember
you
this
were
one.
just
I don't
talking
remember
about
how it
you
started.
liked Rivers so much.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
River Craycraft active tonight.
Worst river.
River Craycraft not only active tonight, back-to-back games of scoring a touchdown.
He's
Let's
the
go.
new Isaiah McKenzie.
Oh, yikes.
He goes on. Anyway, I've been thinking about Russell Wilson's magic drive all week. I keep thinking that if you could just insert a single drive like that into our games against the Chiefs in 2015, we're not talking about a 13-game losing streak. Every year except 2019, we've played to them within 7 points at least once. I know you can't just insert 7 points and hold everything equal. In some of those games, Mahomes probably worked some of his magic to win anyway. But even with the early pains, I can still feel like Wilson will be a difference maker in must-win games. P.S. If you grew up in Colorado, you probably grew up near a river. The Pooter, the South Platte, the freaking Colorado. Heck, the Boulder Creek's nice too. Lakes are just okay. Too muddy.
Yeah, I didn't grow up by any rivers.
Oh,
You did.
Not really.
The South Platte.
that's the most garbage ass river there is.
Yeah.
That is- it's disgusting.
I didn't say he grew up by a good river.
No, I'm gonna take you guys up to a real river someday.
The Colorado
I
River,
bet it's
you're going to have a
better.
hard time beating the Colorado River.
I think I could beat it.
I don't think so.
Is there a Montana River?
I mean no, not with the name Montana. You got me with the name.
Yep.
All right, the count says the good old days. Both of us were awkward. We chewed way too loud and crashed off of the end of the ramp. Tossed thousands of newspapers in the garbage that were supposed to deliver and traded the 61 milli Willie Mays for 5 warm beers that split behind that boarded up Dairy Queen.
Bad call.
We lulled each other to sleep by reciting the 53, top to bottom, until we got to Selvin Young or Cecil Sapp, and you snored your ass into another dream about sneaking into my brother's bar and doing shots of horse tears.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm all about the poems.
That's beautiful.
I'm so lost.
I'm so lost
Selvin
too.
Young.
I'm not lost with this next one though. Coming in from Aquaman.
Yeah,
and
notably.
notably Aquaman says Zach has never been more correct. Let's read that again. Zach has never been more correct than his ocean
Low bar.
take. By far the best body of water. Me being a marine biologist doesn't influence me at all. If GFVR fans are coming to Las Vegas to meet up, let's pregame drinks at Fan Zone at Mandalay Bay and Luxor. Let's ride. Guys, this is the expert himself,
No.
Aquaman.
Aquaman lives in the sea and he's a marine biologist. He's extremely biased.
But his name is Waterman, so he knows all about water.
He does know.
Mostly just salt water.
How is he a marine biologist living in Vegas?
They have that lake.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He knows about lakes and rivers too.
They have that drainage ditch that goes underneath the whole city.
You mean the
Oh.
South Platte? Basically the same thing.
There's a whole
Pretty good.
documentary about this thing. It's like essentially like a flash flood thing to stop if there's ever a big rainstorm, so it won't like flood the strip. But obviously it never rains.
Right.
So a bunch of homeless people have taken that as like their home, and there's like a whole city underneath the city.
Wow.
But it's extremely dangerous because if it ever rains heavily, it'll be catastrophic.
Bad
You haven't
news.
seen Top Gun?
Jeez.
No.
But you have time to watch the documentary on the drainage ditch in Vegas.
That's so much more compelling.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Next one coming in from Wabo. I'm gonna try this, guys. Our chub always brings it hard. Our chub is bigger than yours, no doubt. He's better than yours.
What is
How
happening?
did I do? Was that good?
No, it's terrible.
Okay,
Somehow
next one.
even less sexual than the milkshake song, though.
Next one though.
Can I help you with this one?
Yeah. Which one do you want to get?
Are
The
you
first part or
sure?
the second part? Or are we doing it together?
Well, do you know the song?
Yeah.
Okay,
I know
all
this
right.
one.
Okay,
I
then
know
you
this
can
one.
get it.
Okay.
You can get it.
PS2. Oi. 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 PS2. Oi. Oi.
Oh, that one slaps.
Yeah, that one's
slaps.
really
That's
good.
gonna go hard in the stadium.
I don't know this one though. If someone else,
See, I don't know the song.
that's why. Yeah, I don't either. Should we make it up?
Our guy Dan was sending me some last night too, and I didn't know the song, so I was like, I have to like research this.
So Wabo sent us these lyrics and then told us which song it goes to. This next one is to Montel Jordan's "Let's Ride."
yeah, I just don't know this.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Me too. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I don't know it. But it's "Let's ride
No, don't even
all
try.
night." I don't doubt it. Our guy is bout it. And I'm so excited, cause Russ is gonna ride it.
Wow.
No, that wasn't good.
We need a company choir.
He says on second thought, it's late and this was a bad idea.
That was a great idea.
Yeah, the Oi one was great.
PS2 one's really good.
Also, the milkshake one was
Yeah.
fine.
I really like it. And again, though,
I
like
feel like
I know
Zach might have fumbled the bag on that one.
it sounds like it's a bit much, but at the same time, that milkshake song is more. I think this is more appropriate than milkshake normally.
Wow.
Our chub
I think so.
always
I think
brings
so.
it hard.
My
Our
milkshake
chub
brings all the
is
boys to the
bigger
yard.
than yours.
So
I don't know. This is
He's the
competing
biggest
with
chub
it.
there is.
I think it should actually, the first line should say, "Our Bradley always brings it hard," because milkshake Bradley.
Ah, yeah.
Then you can go, "Our chub is bigger than yours, no doubt. He's better than
Ah, yeah, that's good.
I
That's
like
good.
it.
I love it, Wabo.
The PS2 one, though.
Yeah.
That's so easy.
It is so good.
That should be implemented this week.
Yeah,
You just have to hope they actually throw the ball at him.
We actually have another one about PS2, which I can't find right now, so we'll get to it later. But Double D says, don't read this on the pod, but it's about songs, so we will. He says, not super original. Many fan bases have songs to
What?
Guantanamera?
Guantanamera.
Okay.
Okay.
They don't have that in Montana.
Yeah. One of the most famous is Arsenal singing it for their great manager of Wagner.
This slaps.
It works with 4-syllable names like Russell Wilson.
One Russell Wilson. There's only one Russell Wilson.
Ooh.
One
Russell
Russell Wilson. There's only one Russell Wilson.
I didn't realize you guys are so talented.
Beautiful. And if you want to hear another example, he drops an example in there. But good job, Ryan. I think you nailed it.
This is gonna work.
Yeah, and Wobble with another one. Maybe it's another idea. He says, damn, boys, this body of water debate had me pondering
Let's go.
things
And damn,
at first.
too.
At first, seemed like lakes would lock it down,
Yep.
but without
Yep.
rivers, lakes would cease to exist.
Uh-huh.
Cease to exist. Ocean voters have a sound argument,
Wow.
but seems a little too salty. I'll keep streaming on YouTube because I know you'll shoot us straight and won't harbor any
Yep,
ill will
yep.
toward each other.
God.
Bye, you guys.
Wow, that's incredible. I was confused on that one.
And
He
then said, "It's
now
later
it's
than
later than before.
Oh, that was awesome.
Those are good.
Yeah, that was really good.
Wow.
Orange and Blue for Life said, had a blast at the tailgate, guys. It was a pleasure having late night beer at the bar as it closed with our Icelandic friends and you, RK. Only thing better than beating the Raiders is beating the Josh McDaniels led Raiders.
I wish we
That's a good point.
would have thought of this earlier, but we should have had a draft of like most hateable people in the NFL right now. Because you have like McDaniels, you have Tom McMahon.
We can save that for the tailgate.
That's
we
a good
sure
one.
can.
That's
We
a
sure
good
can.
one. Next one coming in from Onion Booty Bronco says, trade Justin Simmons? A fun and silly discussion topic, to be sure. But realistically, no. Hard no. He is arguably, maybe even objectively, our best all-around Bronco when you factor in on-field performance, availability, off-field impact, and brand ambassadorship. He's been the most reliable Bronco since 2015. It's great to see our backup safeties, Stearns and Locke, make an impact, but to suggest that we've seen enough from these two and are better without Justin Simmons is a stretch. Where it comes to saving money, let's not forget we have the most money baggy ownership group in all 7 kingdoms. Penny pinching is the thing of the past. Scared money don't make no Super Bowls. Onion Booty goes on to say, he said that in the comments. For some additional fodder, Melvin needs to be put in timeout. Should we start calling him Fumbies? So glad Josie is back. The most underappreciated Bronco right next to Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Go easy on our quarterback, patience. To use an old Star Wars quote is a good thing.
No. Oh, wait.
Patience is a good thing.
Hope is not.
Hope is a bad thing.
yes,
Hope
yes.
is bad. Hope is not good.
Hope is
There
not
we
good.
go.
There we go.
The Raiders game will be a hard-fought one. We're not good enough yet to blow teams out. The Raiders have talent. I don't have a dub in Sharpie. This is all for now. Thank you. Love, Onion Booty, Bronx.
This is probably the best performance ever by the comments.
You guys are
We're on
really
fire
coming
today.
through. And here's another champ one, or a PS2 one from Cosmo Kelly says, hear me out. When PS2 breaks up a pass, instead of chanting incomplete, we chant PS2.
And then you just start going, oi, oi, PS2,
Oh, boy.
Oi,
boy.
oi, they should do this.
I
Broncos.
hate when you like just ruin a tradition. That honestly is not a bad idea though.
Especially
because you still
it's
keep it
playing
going with the
and
others.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's playing off of it perfectly.
It's great for 15 years.
Yes. I love this.
I think it's pretty good.
Onion Booty again says, okay, I'll settle this body of water debate once and for all. The best body of water is a glass of water or a bubble bath. You're welcome. Wow.
Glass of liquid death mountain water.
I kid
Wow,
you
that
not.
was tough to beat.
2 minutes before we started the show, Ryan looked at me after a sip and said, how did they do it? This is so good.
It's the best packaged water ever.
And you know what I didn't know about Liquid Death? And this is just not an ad read. I didn't know that they had like different types. I thought it was just all the white sparkling water. But
That's
no.
the black sparkling water.
Yeah, and that's sparkling and yours is still.
Straight.
And then they have the flavor ones you guys had.
Murder Your
yesterday.
Thirst.
As you guys know, I love still water.
You do.
Boo.
On
Also,
brand, Ryan.
bubble bath is very good though.
It's not for me.
Really?
I probably haven't had one since my mom was giving them to
same,
me.
100%.
Wow. What is wrong? Ugh. Nice book and a bubble bath.
Oh, like candle, glass of wine.
Okay, I don't. That's asking a lot.
I feel
Finding
like
the
you need
candle.
to be, like, you need the right setup. If you're in like a penthouse suite and they have like
That's true.
great one with a dope view, then I can
Yeah,
see it. But like
yeah.
in like my apartment bathroom, it just doesn't hit right.
No, that's a
Okay,
good
okay,
point.
okay.
Butch Cassidy says this feels like an appropriate time to bring back bold predictions. So this week on 64-yard field goals, Pat Surtain will have not one but 2 picks in this game. Also, you guys are sleeping on Creeks.
Oh, Creeks. Yeah, I think we gave a shout out to Creeks.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Hank actually said Creeks.
Boulder
I said
Creek?
Babbling Brooks.
We
And
better creeks.
picks. Pat having 2 picks. If it's ever going to happen, it'll be this week because it would be Carr wanting to get the ball to Devontae Adams.
So they were like, I was watching Pat McAfee's show today, and I think it was Malcolm. I don't know. Someone was praising, some former DB was praising Pat Surtain. But I rewatched that one to, I want to say Ayuk on the backside. He should have picked that. It was like he was standing in front. I was just like, use both hands. He just like swats it down. I'm like, Pat, just grab the ball.
He wants to be PS2 PBU.
Yep.
He's so good. It's just insane.
yes.
It's so much fun.
I can't wait for this week's matchup.
And we're talking about rivals. Like, you would love to see Pat Surtain have a massive game and have everybody in Vegas hate him.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be incredible.
He's just never like gonna fight
No.
Devontae Adams.
You can alternate the PS2 with PBU in the Oi 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 channel.
Oh yes,
Levels.
PS2.
Oi.
Oi, oi, PBU. Oi, oi, oi. I love it. Oh, that does, and it's the right amount of time too. You don't want a chant that's too long or anything.
Right,
And then,
right.
can you play the music? Can the stadium play the music in the background too?
I mean, once we get it going, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm going to have to
man.
get tickets to the next
Yeah,
home
you
game.
are. You're gonna have
Yep.
to get it going next Thursday night. 1
Yep.
week from today, the Broncos could be 2-0 in like 4 hours.
You think if I print out sheets and hand them to everyone in my...
76,000?
Yeah.
No, just everyone in my section, because everyone else will figure it out on their own.
It would get. I mean, the counting the play clock down started with like probably even way smaller than a section.
Yep.
It's true. All right.
You just need to lead the way.
Ryan,
We're going to
this
make
is
it
on you.
happen.
This
I
is
got
on
this.
you.
I won most school spirit at my high school
Wow.
for my, work leading the student section.
Wow.
I actually won that too.
Wow.
Oh, we got a lot
Very
of them
fitting.
here.
I
Very
did
fitting.
lead the student section. I didn't win an award, though.
Oh, maybe you
made
just
kind
didn't
of-
do it very well.
No, we did so good. We did so good. They won a state championship because of me.
Sorry, guys.
All because of you?
Yeah.
I got suspended
Wow.
for a game, and they still won the award. I got suspended for starting an inappropriate chant.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm not surprised at all.
Sorry,
Those
guys.
athletic directors used to be so pissed off.
I was
about
I
that
was on the
stuff.
sideline. I couldn't.
Oh,
be-
okay.
be,
You were
in
certainly
stands.
on the
Big
sideline.
I was on the
Flexing.
sideline. Yep.
We found out the name of the best player on the other team's mom,
Yeah.
and then just started chanting, "Sarah's a MILF. Sarah's a
Oh my
MILF."
god.
Some of the
He
basketball
missed the
chants.
free throws. So
Some of the basketball chants go crazy.
Is
Yeah,
Splice the name of
basketball.
that movie?
Splice?
I think Splice.
Is
maybe-
it about the
It's like scary.
drainage ditch underneath Vegas?
No, it's not. It's not. I know it's not your up your
Okay,
up
while
your
you
alley.
look that up, I'm
But
going,
oh yeah, but there was a girl on the volleyball team, and they just started yelling "Splice," and
Oh,
I didn't get it
Jesus.
at the time. But she looked just like this girl from this horror movie, and
my
it was
gosh.
terrible.
Oh
it is
my
so
God.
mean.
That's
to
messed up.
somebody.
At least mine, like-
messed up.
Mine was actually a compliment.
my,
Oh, nice.
my basketball program once the basketball coach was caught cheating, and so then they our school found out the name of his wife, and they
Oh.
started chanting blanks better at him.
Oh my god.
I think that was the worst. The like, whoa.
It's so terrible.
Speaking of coaches who have been caught cheating, Josh McDaniels this week.
Yes, very,
Oh, boy.
very appropriate.
Arvada Luke says, fellas, I made some overly optimistic predictions in the comments of last week's Friday's pod, which made an 11-10 victory, made impossible. Fortunately for me, due to how the pods play out, they were co-signed to the ether. So I'm reviving them here for this week. I'm usually a week early on my SGPs anyway. We can expect 1, a Caden Stearns interception. 2, an explosive screen pass to Montrell Washington. Little tunnel screen. One of those neat inside shovel passes to Beck in the red zone for a juicy TD. And over 145 all-purpose Javonte Williams yards. I've seen Zach getting some heat lately for verbal false starts on Twitter. Give him a break. We all should know he's more of a numbies guy.
Wait, I'm confused. What is this?
You said on Twitter,
Oh, Jesus.
gosh, the Broncos play 5 games in 2 weeks. And you meant to say 2 games in 5 days.
2 games in 5 days. Well, I didn't even notice that.
Or I think you said 5 games in 2 days.
Oh gosh, I don't want to go find that tweet.
Ooh.
That'll be tough.
It
Yeah.
was a real like AAU style schedule. 5 games in 2 days.
Oh boy, yeah. I'm just gonna ignore that.
Anyways, he keeps going. Speaking of online vitriol, the Boo Birds have done one thing for me, and that is shortened the emotional hangover from a Broncos loss. What entitlement! How are you going to hold a new coaching staff and a QB to a higher standard by week 2 than the likes of Elway, Peyton, any coaching coordinator since 19, and essentially any player besides Garrett, the Holden years? Ridiculous. My wife said something else this week that I felt was poignant. Is this going to be like 2015 where every game was like a heart attack? Let's recall. That was a season that featured the Broncos' wins of 19-13, 16-10, 17-15, and a loss of 15-12. We're going to be just fine. And to the Russ is washed crew out there, who has a Legion of Boom now? Cheers.
Ooh. I mean, this is the best supporting cast he's had in a long time.
Yep. Someone oversprayed the Febreze again.
Oh. That happens in the locker room
Burns
so
my
much.
nostrils.
So much. It's wild. Like, you'll just be standing there, it's like, oh my God, what is happening? I was talking to Kareem last week, and my eyes were just like burning out of my face.
So many chemicals.
Also, today, Hank found out that he thought in one part of the locker room was the training room, but he found out that was the bathroom. So it's these little things he's learning throughout the ways.
I
It's
know.
like, why are so many people naked showering in the training room?
Oh my
Well, I
God.
never looked in. The door's over there. Bathroom door's over here. Zach was like, where'd Josie go? I was like, is that the training room over there? I'm the idiot. Okay.
All right,
No,
last
no,
one
it's
here
funny.
from a Broncos fan named Denver. Hey, guys, long time no comment.
Wow.
Sorry, it might go long. 1, don't think I ever congratulated Hank, so congrats, man. He's talking about you figuring out where the training room
Yeah,
is.
it's true. Good
Thanks.
job.
Yes, it's the door to the left.
So happy to have you on the Broncos pod. 2, got married in March, had a destination
Congrats.
wedding.
Ooh.
Guess where? Boulder Creek.
Oh, no.
Absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
and
I
we
said
love
something
Boulder.
terrible about that like 10 minutes ago.
That
It is a good creek.
That is the top creek.
Is it tiny?
You got it.
Cripple
No.
Creek might have a...
Oh, cripple, yeah.
Boulder Creek is great.
So
Boulder
is it
Creek
like a
great.
river?
We gotta go real creeks.
It's very river adjacent.
Okay.
It's
I don't know
so
what defines
skinny.
the difference, to be honest. It has some wide spots.
I would think
Rivers
You
need
can
to
go
be at
cliff
least
jumping in
20 feet
Boulder
wide.
Creek.
Is that real?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
All right.
Wow, 3 for Mr. B.
3 for Mr. B. That's OG status right there. 4, let's drop Fumbies. Let Booner be the change of pace back. Then maybe OBJ if he's healthy. Just a thought. This is like when Garrett Bowles got the Gumballs nickname.
People are gonna ride Fumbies.
Fumbies is pretty much perfect, so I can't stop it. 4.65 is for the Walton Penner ownership group.
Hey, pretty good.
5, Russ is going to be fine. 6, Hackett is going to be fine. 7 is for John.
Hey.
8, our defense is the truth. If we can get Simmons back and stay healthy, they will finish top 3 overall, maybe even first. And 9, Oceans suck.
Come on.
Gotta go to the big damn rivers. I live in South Dakota, 15 minutes from the Missouri River. I live above the Oha Dam, so it's more of a lake. Haha. So rivers and lakes are my vote, but as one thing.
It's because that's all you have. No wonder they're your things.
You
You
could
got
just
it.
ride that river
Yeah.
right to the ocean
We're
if you
making
want to, but he doesn't want
these days.
to.
Because
10.
he doesn't like rivers that much.
Fair enough. 10, go DNVR, go the OGs like Iceman, the Count, and Nacho Brad. 11, let's ride.
Let's
go.
it. What a pod this was.
This was actually
Way
like,
to get into the weekend.
2 more super chats.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's
Start
not
the
over
timer
yet.
now?
Start the timer. 2 minutes. Gregory taking his car to the
Oh,
junkyard.
man. That's great, Cody.
Just like, is it too soon? I was going to say Henry Ruggs.
Oh, yes, it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
Yes, it is.
Dylan Smith. I need a Pat
Bottom
Surtain
minute ago.
I need a Pat Surtain jersey, and even more so after this Sunday when he holds Adams to 0 catches when he's guarding him.
I think it's going to be -1 catches.
Oh,
Wow.
Throw a pick in
so
there,
pick?
too. Yep.
If he holds Devontae Adams to 0 catches, I think
Crown his
everyone in
ass.
the NFL will be saying he's the best cornerback.
PFF might let him break an 80 grade.
Ooh,
You see, they
damn.
adjusted. They brought him up to a 78. Thanks.
So that's what you have to do. When they're so bad, you just have to pound them so much on social
Yeah.
for them to be like, oh, we'll take a look again.
Yeah. Oh, you did have a good game. 5 points.
But we're not going to fully admit that we were so wrong.
Right, exactly. Wow, this really was a great pod.
so great.
I will put that in stone. Best performance ever from the comment section.
I agree. I'm backing it.
Yep.
I think so.
Stamp approval.
Yeah.
Squirrel Week was a good
So
time.
I think there's only one way to end this show, and it's with a little
PS2. Oi! 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 PS2. Oi! Oi!
Just end it?
Oi! See you guys later.